Innovation, as you all know. I'm a business consultant, and I thought today to share with you, I'm not selling you anything, to share with you a little bit about competitive edge with strategic innovation. First of all, I'd like to know who's in the room and what do you guys do. So do we have any business owners? Do we have any entrepreneurs? Do we have any aspiring entrepreneurs? Come on, higher. Aspiring entrepreneurs. Do we have, what do we have? Do we have artists? Yes. Yes, Simon. This is Simon, by the way, a fantastic entertainer who's helping me out today. Thank you, Simon. So, innovation, what do we know about innovation? Let's have a quick look. Let me show you what we're going to cover in those next 20 minutes. If you haven't guessed where my accent is from, I'm French. I was born and raised in France. I finished my uni studies and I came over here. So this is where my accent is from. What we're going to be covering today, introduction, what I do, definition, because in order to understand strategic innovation, you need to understand what strategy, innovation, business models. We're going to have a little exercise as well to get the brain to open up the creativity. This is a very quick overview. I don't want to bore anyone. I'm not going to do much talking, okay? Business presentation takeaway. You'll get some takeaways, so you'll get some tips to take away with you today that you can apply to your business or to some ideas that you have in mind if you are thinking of coming up with a business. And I will share at the end free online tools, groups and events. Again, I'm not selling anything to you today. So, my name is Arianna. I'm a business consultant and I specialize in helping startups and small businesses to get started and grow. I'm also the founder and the chair of the Gaia Network, which is an online and offline platform for women in business or women who are hoping or thinking of setting up in entrepreneurship. Before the Gaia Network, I founded Foundation Wellbeing Trust. We still run projects in the community where we help children and their families live better and healthier through those projects. So, the Gaia Network and Foundation Wellbeing Trust. Strategic innovation. Have you got an idea of what innovation is generally? What do we think of? First thing, innovation. Any word?
Technology.
Who said it? Technology? Absolutely, technology. New, yes.
Ideas and execution.
First one, what did you say?
Ideas.
Ideas and execution, yes. Creativity, yes. So it's all about opening up and coming up with new, incorporating technology and evaluating risk. We'll go through in a little bit more details. This is the actual one of the definition. So in order to thrive in competitive environment of the 21st century, it is often no longer sufficient to simply develop new products and services. Innovation back then, coming up with a new product or making a product better was simply enough, but it's not enough today. Increasingly, companies are also having to modify, completely redesign the entire business model. Business models innovation create competitive edge by enabling a more comprehensive differentiation and great influence on company sales and cost, because it's all about sales. I will simply highlight changes to the foundation decisions upon the business operates. So we're going to the core of the business when we're looking at it. Now you have to remember, when you think of big companies such as Uber, all the big ones, give me some names. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Topshop. What's the one main thing that they have done to survive? Diversify. Innovate and adapt. Absolutely. All of those are right. Adaptation is very important.
Unlike Blockbuster.
Absolutely. Who is now instead of Blockbuster? Netflix, right? Netflix was a big disruptor, changed the completely business model, and eliminated everyone else. All the others followed, right? So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about business models, and you've nailed it, absolutely. So when you look at business models, you're looking at three elements. You're looking at the core of the business. You're looking at creating new or creating something that changes the game. Okay, business models that don't work. Yes, so not so much names, but give me examples of why some business models won't work. We mentioned it earlier. We talked about adapting, right? So if they're not adapting, what are businesses doing? They are being complacent, yes. Stagnant, yes.
Advertising.
Not enough advertising, yes.
Do they understand their target market?
Yes, absolutely. If they haven't, by the time they're running their business, they're never going to make it. Basic, yes. In order to, you're right. So many businesses are failing to keep up. Comes back to Blockbuster, right? Far too many businesses are operated on an outdated business model. So don't allow your business, if you're running a business, to be stagnant, old-fashioned, outdated, boring, not user-centric, or too slow. Adapt. It's very fast. What's user-centric? Anyone? Focus on the client. I like you. Absolutely. So, customer-centric, client-centric, absolutely. So, when you open an app on your phone, how long does it take you to decide a new app on your phone? How long does it take you to decide if you like this app or not? How long? Seconds, right? And what are the reasons you don't like an app? Too complicated? Not to the point? Not good reviews? Not pretty, yes, not aesthetically pleasing. Complex interface, and most of all, when it takes too much time, it's too complicated, when it's not easy and flowing, right? Everything's fast. No one wants to waste their time. So a company always has to think, how can I make my service or my product easy for the customer to use at a click of the button? Who's got an online internet banking? Stripe, yes. Any other ones? Anyone's got Monzo? How many clicks did it take to open a Monzo account? 3 or 4, right? 3 clicks on a mobile phone, scanning a passport or an ID, et voilà. This is what we call user-centric. Easy, right?
Like Amazon.
Yes, a bit too easy to my liking. Click, click. All right. So, business models that work. So just a very quick one. So we mentioned it, customer value obsessed. Amazon. How many people buy things on Amazon and return them? It's so easy, right? Yes? Yes?
Depends if you go to the post office and there's a long line.
Yes. But I believe they offer 3, 4, I did a return myself today. They offer 4 different options to return. So it's quite a lot of options. Subscription, those are really good. We're talking about business models that are working for 2019. Subscription models are really good. One of my favorites, freemiums. Who's heard that term before? Freemium. Yes? So it combines 2 words, free and premium. Okay? So most of the services that they have online are free, and then they have an option to upgrade, which is at a premium. So that's a new business model, and that's doing really well in 2019. Platform-based, such as Facebook, Uber, Airbnb, social media, community-based, Nike, being part of something, being part social. Employee-centric, such as Google, but most of the huge companies have take more than one of those. That's what makes them the best out of the best. We're going to do a little exercise. Okay, so it's based on an exercise called assumption. It's based on assumption mapping. And it's to open up the mind. So whether you're a business owner or you're not, it's just going to open up your mind and your creativity. How we're doing, Ash? 5 minutes. Okay, we'll stay here. We'll do it together. Yes? Just 5 minutes. All right. So, do we have any fitness professionals? Any other fitness professionals? Wellness professional? The lady at the back? Yes? We met at Richmond. Fitness, wellness, nutrition? Yes? What else do we have?
Chiropractor.
So wellness, would you categorize it as wellness?
Absolutely.
Yes? Anything else? Fashion? All right. So, I'm going for wellness. Let's do an exercise together. So we're going to focus on, there's 4 different quadrants, and we're going to ask a few questions. So remember, innovation is about coming up with new, better solutions, new business models. So it requires a lot of open mind. And this is what we're going to trigger, opening up the mind. So you should have been doing this, but I'll be doing this with your help, okay? Okay. So up here we have important. Down here, obviously, we have what? Not important. That's for the customer, the client. It's always customer, client centric. Then we have risky, yeah, unknown. Can you tell I don't handwrite anymore? I type. And known. Okay. So you ask yourselves questions when you're looking at changing your business model. For example, please remind me your name? Linda. For example, Linda, if you were wanting to disrupt your existing business model, you're going to have to ask new questions. And you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. Some of the questions that you could ask yourself, and then I'm going to ask to help us with, is, it's easier if I put them on screen. So, what's desirable, what's viable, and what is feasible? Okay? So you're going to ask a few questions, and you're going to come up with different things. So questions such as, our customers will use our product repeatedly because you need to answer. There's other questions such as, so it's to open up your mind. This doesn't apply. Our customer cannot solve this problem today. Why? So you put all those elements together, and you will come up with different stickies, obviously. We were meant to do this in a group, but no time. And what you need to focus on is this area here, because, please help me out, because this area is important, and surprisingly it's, can you remember? It's unknown and risky. But then high risk, high rewards and returns. Okay? So you need to focus in this area here. And this won't work the first time. It might not work the second time. You need to go through a whole process. You need to go through a whole process of, so we are doing the exploring. We're doing the exploring, opening the mind. We're testing it, testing a new business model. So for example, Linda, right? Linda, what is the biggest hurdle for your customers or your clients in terms of getting your services? Not knowing enough, okay. Knowledge. And that's very important, isn't it?
The secondary prejudices of someone just to say
Okay, knowledge. And did you ever think of coming up with something, running your business in a different way, maybe because of financial problems or lack of manpower, you were stopped from looking at a different business model? So what would you do if you didn't have those blocks?
you could go to more places and let more people.
So reach, bigger reach, more online.
Yeah, so we do Facebook leads, Instagram leads.
So bigger reach. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to take where Linda's business model currently is and see where it can be changed from and to with your clients' needs, right? And hurdles. Bigger. You're right. You were saying?
Social media leads?
Yes, absolutely. Bigger. So online. And you go on. You go on, you explore. Then you test it out. You come up with an idea, you test it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. You test out your minimum viable offer or minimum viable product. And it could be a couple of clients that you're doing this new model for. You might not charge for it to test it out, to see the response. You evaluate the feedback. If it's online, you check the stats. You adjust and you improve. And it goes back. So that's for a business model. So you have all those questions. I can share those later with Ash maybe. I can share those. But really it's to open up the mind and to see without the blocks how you can move your business forward. And that gives you that competitive edge. Not simply adding a new product or serving better. Serving something new is simply not good enough today. So that's just an overview. I hope it triggered your mind in thinking differently. Obviously, you need to go in more details, but that's all we have time for. Feel free to join me online. They're completely free on Facebook, CCJM Team Awesome, on LinkedIn, Business Leader Success Forum. Women in Business, the Gaia Network. It's sponsored by Big Lottery. We're very fortunate to be sponsored by the Big Lottery. And we run 2 events a month where we share business tips and do some networking. In Brentford, Hammersmith, and where's the third location? Brentford, Hammersmith, and Ealing Broadway. If you liked what I shared, please do leave a review. It's always welcome. Business owners, you know how we value those reviews. Feel free to speak with me, grab my contact. And merci beaucoup. Thank you. Ash, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much for coming again. And we'll be including all of the content, the links to the websites and everything.